Welcome back to another video for HarborFinancialOnline.com. Today I'm going to be talking about capital gains tax and calculating the amount of tax that you might owe on your return when you file it. So I'm going to get the video going and we'll go through this together. So what a capital gain is, first, it's any profit made from the sale of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, property, or any other possessions. This can even include coins, things like that you may have bought and sold. It doesn't matter if you had a profit or a loss, you still have to report it for tax purposes. So a lot of people out there think, well, I didn't make any money off this, I don't have to report it. You still have to report it. It's reported on Schedule D on your tax form. So I'm going to show you that schedule and show you exactly how to calculate the tax that's going to be owed. What you need to know is the base price you bought that item for and what you sold it for. And you have to have the exact dates, because this is going to determine if you had that profit or you had a loss. And you have to report both of those things on the form Schedule D, which gets attached to your tax return. Now on our site, HarborFinancialOnline.com, we have an online calculator estimator that will allow you to put in these capital gains or losses and see how it's going to affect your taxes. So it's really easy to use, and you can see, maybe this year is the first time you ever sold an asset, so you don't know how it's going to affect you. On this estimator, it's going to show the result. If it's with a loss, it's going to increase your refund. If you had a capital gain, then you're going to owe more tax, is how that works. Now, when you're calculating your capital gains, it's split between long-term and short-term capital gains. Long-term is if you had the item for 12 months or more. Now, there's lower tax on the long-term capital gains. The tax rate is going to be, what it calculates to is 0 to 15%. Short-term is held for less than 12 months. Now the rate on this is a lot higher. It can be up to 35%. And again, it's reported on Schedule D. I'm going to show you that right now. Here's our website, HarborFinancialOnline.com, where you can prepare the return directly online and use our estimator for the capital gains estimation. Here's Schedule D. Now if you prepare the return directly online, it's automatically going to fill this form out for you, so it saves you time. Here in Part 1 is short term. Now like I said, you got to have the description, the date you bought it, the date sold, the sales price, the cost, and then that's going to give you the gain or the loss over here. And it flows down to your total here. Now what happens to this is the amount of this gets carried over to your regular tax form, your 1040. This is just a page of the 1040, okay? That's how it works. This is why it's so much easier to do the return online, because it's going to fill this form out for you and carry those amounts over. Part 2 is the long term. Same questions, same thing you have to answer. It's just putting you into a different tax bracket. And a lot of times you're going to have more items than what these lines allow for, but it gives you additional sheets. You can put in as many as you want. Make sure on stocks, that can be the trickiest thing, because you need to find the exact stock price you paid for that when you bought it. And you may have bought those stocks at it may be the same company, XYZ company, but you bought shares at different times at different prices. So what you need to do is figure out the cost of all those times you bought the shares, what it averages out to that stock price, okay? What the total price you paid for it was. And the same thing for the sales if you sold at different times. You're going to get the form from the investment company you had your stocks through. A lot of times, though, they won't provide really good detail on the cost of those shares. They'll provide detail on the sale price, but the cost they won't. So you may want to look that up on your own. You can do it on, different websites, finance websites, and search the date and see what the cost of that stock was at that date. Because the company issuing your statements will usually give the date you bought it, but they won't give the price you paid for it at that date. So you may have to look that up on your own. So here's page 2. Again, this is why I recommend doing the return online if you can, because you're probably going to make mistakes if you try to do this on your own without doing it electronically. It's going to catch any errors you make on this. Again, here's our website, harborfinancialonline.com. Calculating the capital gains. Our online calculator lets you put in the sale information and shows you exactly what the tax is going to be and what tax bracket it puts you in. So that's a good thing to know. It's going to show you a short term and long term what the tax bracket is. You can deduct $3,000 per year for capital losses, and anything more than that you can carry to future years or back years to offset any income in those years. We already covered Schedule D. Our calculator is completely free to use. It's a great tool. You should check it out. If this is your first time with capital gains, I really recommend looking at that, because if you had a lot of capital gains, it's going to really increase your tax quite a bit, and you need to be prepared for what the tax owed might be. So take a look at that if you have a chance, and our website, harborfinancialonline.com. If you have any questions about Form Schedule D, which is the sale of capital assets, if you had a gain or a loss and how to carry those losses forward or back, send me an email, expert@harborfinancialonline.com, and I have other videos on capital gains. So if I didn't cover the specific area you are looking for in capital gains, if you go through my videos, I'm sure you'll find one. We have lots of videos on capital gains. Appreciate you watching the video. Check out our website, and hopefully you'll check out some of my future videos. Thank you.